This now, the 96th Comrades Marathon is set to produce fireworks. That's according to the elite athletes at a media briefing in Durban ahead of Sunday's race. It's a down-run ultra-marathon from the KwaZulu-Natal capital, Pietermaritzburg, to Durban. More than 17,000 athletes have qualified to take part.
Yes, runners from 84 different countries will be participating in this year's Comrades Marathon, dubbed Ziyasha. We know that more than 17,000 will be participating in this year's race. Those are the athletes who have been training very hard for the past year or two in order to ensure that they do take part in this year's race. We also know that this is again a down run from Pietermaritzburg to Durban, with a lot of athletes saying that they are ready. Just now we've just concluded a media briefing by the elites group led by some of the big high-profile runners in the country and also internationally. We've had Joe Fukuda from Japan, who also said that he is ready to take part and also perhaps might steal a moment or two by winning this year's race. But a lot of them are saying will only focus on their race. They will not be competing with other people. But come Sunday, they will be competing. That's what we know for sure. We've got the three-time winner of the Comrades Marathon, Mr. Bong Musa Tembu, alongside a number of people who were here, the athletes, especially coming from Russian athletes, Alexandra Morozova, who's also here. There was a bit of noise. We know that last year she had to go to court in order to ensure that she also does take part after the World Athletics issued a warning saying that the Russian athletes, due to the invasion of Ukraine, should not be taking part in the World Athletics marathon and races. But this time around, she is also here. There was no issues concerning that aspect. Let's talk to Bong Musa Tembu now, just to get his views about the race. During the media briefing, you called on government to come on board, especially to ensure that this kind of sport is treated equally, and also there's a great deal of respect given to the athletes, so that you can also have some sponsors at the end of the day, because we are saying many of the runners are still poor.
Yeah, I mean, that's very true. But if we compare ourselves with an international, because that's what they do in overseas, we know this. Not only government, but starting from our motherboard, which is Athletics South Africa, goes down to the locals. Government has to play a vital role, including with the private sector, because this brand that we're using, it's a private sector, but with the motivation from them, it's going to be a huge, achievement if you can get. I've always said that if we don't do anything about athletes in South Africa, it would collapse. Yes, we know we're coming from COVID, and prior to COVID, I could see there was something better happening. Because the preparation for a race such as Comrade, it's not easy. You need a lot of things, from doctors, from physiotherapists, from food, petrol, diesel, lauzo for camp, which is very important. So it is, because at the end of the day, you're going to compete with these guys from Japan, which has got every devices you can think of it. You can compete from the guy from USA, which got everything, all support. Look at this guy from Mpumalanga. It's nothing else. It's about support, working together, get support. I've always said, runners, they are like children. You can smile for nothing for children. If the children, because it's young, it's going to be smiling because he just saw you that you're smiling. But that's the athletes. That's what we are calling for, and including the prize monies. We've always cried about this. It's not about money, but at the end of the day, for Bong Musa to run, he needs the running shoes. He needs to prepare for that race. So I think the time, maybe something to be done now. COVID is over. Even for me, maybe it's the last time you hear about the mind state. And the comrade and the running. We're going forward now. We have to come up with a solution. I think the first thing is our motherboard, which is Athletics South Africa, go to government and private sector and work together from the development, so we can see our young athletes compete in the highest level in global events.
And also about the news of the prize money returning back to 500,000 rand for a winner. I think there should be a big welcoming news. You are welcoming that.
I don't want to say no, but honestly, Musa knows Comrades from 2018 backwards, so how much money it was paying for that time. And remember, I've got the guys that are working with me. I've got my family. So if ever there is something happen, you run well, you can't just walk away from these guys. You have to show Ubuntu. So all that, if you have a coach, you have a manager, you have to pay for those people. So you can't just run away. So that's why I'm saying, and the tax more of all. So as soon as the money comes, there's the tax there, you know. At least if athletes, they've given some, you know, some breaks here and there, you know, because this is what we do for living. And in some other sport codes, it's happened, you know. And I think for me now, it's a time they said, no, Musa, you can speak now, very consciously. It's because now there are some other youngsters, they are coming behind Musa. So we don't want them to face these challenges, what Musa faced.
And then back to your preparations, how are they? Are you ready to perhaps maybe smash a record?
No, man, not about the record. We never thought about the record. We never thought about winning. But what we do, it's to compete in Comrades in the highest level. So that's what we do on Sunday. And we believe we work in the way we plan. We train well. We train where we wanted to train. And also thanks to my sponsors, which is Atherford, which then my training partners, my helpers. I'm talking about the men who leave their families and come and support me. So I would like to thank them, and even the supporters who knows Musa and support Musa along the way and all over, and must keep supporting me. You know, we need this encouragement. We need that support, and I really appreciate and feel humble about that.
Thanks a lot.
Sure, man. Sure, man.
Sure. That's a 3 times Comrades Marathon winner, Musa Tembo, calling on government and all other stakeholders to ensure that the running and also as the athletes, they also do get financial motivation in terms of the prize money and also some of the sponsors to pour in their investments in the race.